Hi everybody. Today I am working on 3 last-minute gift ideas, gift projects. None of them take very long except for this first one, and that really doesn't take long. You could get it done in an hour if you weren't a spaz like me who was obsessed with glue strings. But all I'm doing here is taking a frame that I got from Walmart. I think they're like $2.87. They're under $3, and I just went over it with some brown paint. It's chalk paint. Just kind of wiped it on, wiped it off to stain it. And I have a couple of bags of these mini pine cones from Dollar Tree. They have frosted ones and they have the natural ones. I went with the natural ones just because I was saving the frosted ones for something else, and they have a little bit of fallout. I found that because these have little stems on the back, that it was easier to get them to stand up straight if I went ahead and clipped the ends off. I kind of gave up on that halfway through and I realized I'd have to clip 300 little pine cones. And they sit up fine. It's just, might have been a little easier beforehand. But this is definitely something you sit down in front of the TV and do, or something like that. This is not like you have to pay attention to everything you're doing, because literally all I'm doing is gluing pine cones to a piece of wood. And I started from the inside and worked my way around. Some of these are way too small, and some of them are way too big. But I'd say a good, maybe 80% of them are, the right size for this. The big ones they're so big they don't really go with anything else, and the small ones don't really look right, because it's everything's kind of at the same level when you're looking at it sideways, and then you put a little one on there and it's barely poking up at all. And I did try this with tacky glue later on, because I went off screen to finish it and then I came back. The tacky glue worked. It worked fine. It's tacky glue and it takes a while. And if I could have gotten them to stand up in the glue, that would have been fine, but it was a thing of me having to perfectly balance them up against each other. And as much as I hate the hot glue, it was the better way to go, I guess. And I alternated between putting a line of glue down on the frame or putting the glue on the back of the pine cone. The glue on the frame is much quicker, obviously. The glue on the pine cone, I felt like I didn't have to go back and fix as much stuff. Because, if I put it down and the glue's kind of dry, or if I don't make great contact, then I have to go back and glue it anyway. But, either way, whatever you're comfortable with. I estimated this project probably took me an hour, which, depending on how last minute your last minute gift is, you could do this. If you have a party that night, you could definitely do this the morning of. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this 10 minutes before somebody's going to walk through the door and you need a present for them, but... And you could actually stop here if you wanted to. Just do the border. Be like, oh, look, cute. Here's a picture of it, And these don't come with glass, which... I don't know. If they did come with glass, it would always be broken, so you can just go buy a frame from Dollar Tree and take the glass out of it. Or you can buy those acrylic, picture holders, and you can score it with a X-Acto knife or utility knife and just snap it. I did that before for another frame I had. If you didn't want to use glass, but, I mean, whatever. Either or. So this project ended up costing me about, let's say the frame was $3, 2 for the pine cones, maybe $5 max. If you already have some paint and a glue gun. $6 if you want to go buy another frame to get the glass, but I might end up doing that. I'm making this for my stepfather, because I made one for my mom last year using pine cone pieces, and it was very pokey, and, nobody wants a present where you draw blood, but this one is just, it's a little bit safer, because those pine cones, I don't know what they're called, the pine cone petals, they are so sharp. So here I am, I'm just picking everything out, and now I'm going back with the same paint. Y'all, when I opened this paint to paint this frame, I dumped, 3/4 of the bottle onto my keyboard. My keyboard's still not right. It's terrible. So yeah. And if anything is moving, when I picked it up, I could feel... I'm feeling around right now to be is everything where it should be? You can feel where some things are kind of moving around, so you can just go back and add a little bit more glue. And now what I'm doing with the chalk paint is I'm just going to get a little on the brush. I am not going for perfection here. I don't think it's necessary. All I'm doing is going over the spots where the glue is showing, and not only because the glue is showing, but because it's shiny. I think if it had been like a matte glue, you wouldn't have noticed it so much, but it's shiny up against the very matte wood and the matte pine cone, so it stands out like a sore thumb. So I just went through with a little brush, just got it in there. You know, I'm just kind of moving the brush back and forth. And I also went around the outside edge just to make sure any little spots of glue were covered up. And this truffle paint, if you get it, the Waverly chalk paint, it matched those pine cones like perfectly. It did dry a little bit darker on the frame, but you can't even see the paint that got on the pine cones. And you can see I'm not taking any kind of care with this at all. See, an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I think this is something you could batch out really easily. You know, you have a weekend, put something on Netflix and just sit there and just glue. And I put my friend's kid in there because that's the picture that was next to me. And I think that's cute. I think that's cute for a couple of dollars. This one, let me tell y'all, when I did this, I was like, I don't feel like getting up to get anything else to do, but I need to make like 3 gifts for this one video. So I saw these from my centerpiece. They were just hanging out on my table. I saw a little piece of greenery left that had some ribbon, and I was like, you know what? I can do something with that. So if you don't have these pine cones, these kind of, what are these called? The long ones? They're called something. I don't know what they're called. If you don't have the real tight ones like this, you could definitely use pine cones you got from the park or the woods or your front lawn, whatever. I used to have a huge pine tree in my front yard that my neighbor cut down, but whatever. It was on my side yard. It was on his yard. So these are ones left over from a pick, and all I'm going to do is take some wire, which I'm really only using so I don't have to hold these for, you know, however long it takes for the glue to dry. I'm taking the wire and I'm just going to kind of thread it through there. Pull it even. And then I'm going to come in with the hot glue and use a generous amount because you're gluing 2 really textured surfaces to each other, like they're not flat. But to make sure that it stays and so I don't have to hold it, I'm going to pull that wire taut and then just kind of wrap it back and forth a little bit. Tighten it up as good as you can. I think you could probably, if you didn't want to use glue, this was like super secure. But I just put it on there because I wanted to put it off to the side and work on something else for the ornament real quick before I actually got back to it. So yeah, I cut off the extra and those are stuck together. I was showing a little bit there. I think I'm just pushing it back in. And now this, I mean, how many videos has this pick been in? This is my last piece, I think. I'm kind of upset to see it go. Maybe I'll go to Michael's and see if I can get some for 75% off or something, because I use this so often. So I am cutting this down. I think, did I use this in the bell video? I use this in the bell video. I use this in the frame video. I'm cutting it down and putting the green piece in the back with just another little bit of glue. I'm really going to push it in there. La, 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 la. I was going to leave this in here real time because it really just took me, I mean, if it was 2 minutes, it was plenty. And you can see most of that is just me sitting here holding it to dry. So again, if you wanted to do these assembly line, you know, you start gluing pine cones together, put them, you know, get them together, put them down, come back, put all the extra greenery on the top. I love that. I love when I can like be like, okay, I have ornaments or presents that I need to give to this many people, and I want to make something because I don't want to buy things, or I can't buy things, I don't have the money to buy things, and I can sit down and like whip out 20 of them in an afternoon. And this would be very simple, especially if you could find this type of pine cones, because the other ones would work, but obviously they might be a little bit harder to glue together because they're so open. So I just took a little piece of ribbon here from Dollar General, it looks like. Just made a loop, tied it off with some wire, and now I'm just going to glue that on the top to make a hanger. And here we go again. Nobody wants to see this, but whatever. Let's just get through it. Little bow, 4-loop bow, leaving me some tails, tying it off with a wire, twisting it nice and tight, cutting my tails. This ribbon frays so bad. I must have cut these tails like 10 times. Gonna add some glue on there, stick the ribbon on, and that looks like an ornament to me. If somebody gave that to me, I'd be like, oh, that's cute. Like, I think that would be a nice gift. And people love handmade stuff. Like, if it's well made, I've had people, I've given people stuff when I was younger that I was just like, oh my god. Looking back at it now, it's like, that's terrible, but they love it. People love that you actually put thought into something, even if you did whip out 20 of them in an afternoon while watching A Season and a Sons of Anarchy or Breaking Bad or something. Or High School Musical, the series. And there it is. Super cute, super quick, very cheap. I mean, the most expensive thing in this one is the ribbon. Alright, now we're getting to assembly. You have 5 minutes to get out of the house. You're going to a party. Your weird neighbor who always tries to one-up you is there. You need to bring a hostess gift. So, this is how this breaks down. 88 cents for the towel, 88 cents for the oven mitt, $1.50 for the spoon, $1 if you get it from Dollar Tree. The brownie mix was $1, and those spoons I got on clearance from Christmas, they were under $1. So for, what do I say, like $4.50 maybe, you've got a gift that's, I think it looks nice, and it's literally just assembling and making a bow, and the bow is optional. Like, you don't need the bow on there. So what I'm doing here is I'm shoving the bottom half of the towel into the mitt part to bulk it out some, to make it kind of poofy down there. And then I'm squeezing the bottom of this because it needs to be a little smaller at the bottom to actually get inside the oven mitt. Taking the label off. Yeah, you could get one of these from Dollar Tree. A whisk, a spatula, whatever. And that's going down into the thumb hole. And look, we're halfway there. More than halfway. These spoons, I bought so many of these, and I think this is my last set. I still have some of the measuring cups that match, but I think this is my last set of spoons. I'm going to use the ribbon that they're already attached to and just tie it onto the loop of the oven mitt. And get it on there good, because you don't want those falling off. And you could be done right here. Mitt, mix, towel, spoon, measuring spoons. I added a little bow, just because, I don't know what it is about, like, adding something that you put time into when you're assembling a gift, when you're doing, like, an assemblage gift. It just makes it look like you've, spent a lot more time on it than you have. And I just tucked that down so they would know how to get it off. So yeah, that's 3 gifts that really, if you had an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 20 minutes, maybe an hour and 15 minutes, you can make all 3 of them. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. You could do muffin mix, you could do anything. I think the mixes in the pouches work a little bit better than like a box mix would. I don't think a box mix would fit in there. But yeah. And those are 88 cents regular price. I didn't pay 88 cents for them. I bought those last year. And the best thing is it hangs like a stocking. How cute is that? Alright, so here's our 3 projects. The pine cone wreath, the ornament, and our kitchen brownie set. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you on Monday with something new. Alright guys,